All right. Welcome everybody to the Referral Challenge Q&A Mastermind call for Friday, the July 14th. The only update or thing that I really want to discuss is just to encourage everyone to please watch the training video today. Watch the Get Fit Orlando explainer video again if you haven't already, and just try and wrap your head around that. And if you've got questions about it at all, let us know. And because we're going to move forward with this aggressively. It's now there's only 2 more pieces to the puzzle here with the referral challenge, and that's to get this thing going and finish local by referral. Local by referral is going. I've said it so many times, but by next week it's done because I made too many promises and I'm going to lose credibility if I don't finish it. So by next week that's done, and we're off to the races now with this ultimate lead magnet and client converter. And I'm bringing in some big help to get this thing really dialed in and just awesome, because there's tremendous opportunity here with this thing. So that's all I've got. Aaron, you got anything?
I don't. Nope.
All right, great. And also just wanted to say one other thing. Thank you all very much for the kind words and prayers and everything regarding Camellia and her mother. That was, as you can imagine, just a difficult period. But Camelia's much better now, and I mean it'll always impact her, but she's better, and we're all moving forward positively, and that's all relatively handled. We just now her father, we got concerns about him. He's 88, and you know what they say about when you lose a spouse, so we got to keep an eye on him. But all in all, things are much better. So again, just thank you all very, very much. Really appreciate that support. All right, let's dig into it. See Wayne and Adrian here too. That's great. Keith, why don't you start us off? Just let us know, how things are going. Give us an update. You know the drill, and any questions or issues we can help you with.
Yeah. So what I've, in my absence, I've been trying to kind of clean my plate up a little bit. I'm in that stage of business where I'm doing everything. It's all the pain points you read, and when they're trying to sell you coaching and so forth, that's me. So I actually, I've just had a discussion with the woman who I kind of consider to be my head coach. I mean, she's amazing, and she's done some good stuff, and just about actually officially making her the head trainer here, and then passing on quite a bit of stuff for her. Like, she would take over once leads come in, following them through that process, getting them in for a consultation, and so on and so forth, and then also helping me with managing the members we do have right now. Reaching out to them, and just all those different things. We're just trying to work out all the details on that, and it's a little nerve-wracking because obviously I'm gonna have to pay her more to do that, but I do think, by making that investment in her and opening up my time, the plan is to then really dive back into what you guys are putting together and start launching this stuff. I mean, I've put a lot of it in place, but a lot of this new stuff that's come out, like the Habit Maker and this new thing that you're doing now, I'm not there yet. I just haven't really done anything with it. So that's really what I've been working on. And I've also had a conversation. I don't know if any of you know Scott Rawcliffe. I think that's how you say his name. Yeah. He's a Facebook guy. I may turn over my Facebook advertising to him, which is another investment, but I also think it would probably pay back tenfold if he's any good at what he does, which I believe he is. So
he is. You'll be fine with him.
Yeah, that's what
I was just with him 2 weeks ago, and he is very good. We've had some good conversations. I've seen some of the stuff he does, kind of let him sneak into mine and tweak some stuff when Travis Merritt's not available. So he's very good. I wouldn't give him access to mine if he wasn't.
Right.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing. He's Pat's guy too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's Pat.
Yeah. So, and I know Scott did actually, after I sold the company, did some work with NPE.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, so he's got a real good, solid rep. There aren't a whole lot that have the real good, solid rep, but I know
him and Travis Merritt in the fitness industry are the 2 I would look into.
Yeah, and Ben Davis. Ben's real good too. Yeah, but I agree.
Travis does mine.
Yeah. I think that's smart I think that's smart, Keith. And you know, but here's the danger of it. And this is just my way of thinking, you know, and I'm not trying to be doom and gloom or anything like that. But I just try and think forward. And so what's going to happen is that you're essentially going to be dependent on him because you're giving over control. And that's good. You get leverage and you save time. You pay a little bit more, but that's okay. But as his demand for his services increase, which will inevitably occur because people that are doing it on their own are going to continue to struggle or just not have the time or the expertise, then as his demand for his services increases, he charges more because that's the way business works. And so your margins shrink and shrink and shrink. And that's just the way things are going to happen.
Yeah.
But I think in the near term, I think it's a very smart move.
I think you still need to learn it yourself, Keith, while you turn it over. You know, ask the questions. Learn how to read the numbers. Actually, if you want to learn how to read numbers, go back and watch the interview that Travis Merritt did about understanding the numbers of Facebook. And while he's doing it, you're learning this a little bit more at your own pace. And then when you're ready, like Eric said, you're in a position that if you have to, you can take it over yourself.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. It is just a matter of right now it's time for me. You know, I just feel so stretched, just so thin, excuse me, just because of, you know, I'm just doing everything right now. So, yeah, I enjoyed learning that kind of stuff. It's just having the time and the mental capacity to do it right now. So, yeah, that's why I'm kind of looking into turn that over. But hopefully between that and handing some of the stuff over to my trainer, that'll allow me to refocus back into. I mean, I love marketing. That was my original. That was my original background was in marketing. So you know, I love doing it. It's just when you're wearing all the other hats, it's kind of hard sometimes.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And the additional benefit of having somebody like Scott or Travis or Ben do the work for you is that they have a lot of clients, so they're seeing what's working well, you know, out there right now, and whereas it's a little more it's a little more, you know, you don't see as much, you know, you don't have access to that.
Right.
So Wayne asked about Scott, he's doing your ads and landing pages? It's a complete soup to nuts type thing, or is it?
He can. We're not. I mean, we're just in the talking stages. I mean, I have a ClickFunnels account, so I mean, I can create my own landing pages and things. But I don't know. I mean, we've just barely begun talking, so. But I know he can do both.
He prefers not to, though. He prefers just to handle your social media accounts and your marketing in that respect, whereas Travis does the whole funnel and everything for folks.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that to try to lead you a different direction. I'm just saying I know what both of them prefer to do. Travis anymore doesn't prefer just doing Facebook ads. He wants to help people build their whole funnels because most people's marketing message sucks.
That's right.
Okay? And he's really into fixing all that. Where Scott right now is preferring working on the social media marketing.
Right.
Well, that's interesting to me because I mean, when it comes to Facebook advertising, I'm no expert, but when it comes to advertising, I'm an expert. And my understanding of advertising is what you just said. It's the message. The message has to be congruent and it has to be powerful throughout. You might have a great ad, but once they hit that landing page, if it's disjointed or incongruent in any way, you've lost them.
And that's what Travis and I talk probably 2 or 3 times a week, and that is his frustration with the fitness pros that come to him to just do Facebook ads is he puts together a great ad for them. He's getting conversions, moving people to their Facebook page. They get over there and nothing happens because their message is not congruent or it's just terrible. And he has to tell them that, you know, that, look, here's the problem. They get offended. So he's going more to the point. And Travis is getting to be a lot more straightforward like me.
Yeah.
He's been around me too damn long now. And so he's like, look, your message sucks. You want this fixed? We need to start and reverse engineer and work from your message backwards to make this work. So he's building out some pretty cool stuff, actually, to work with trainers in that respect, where he's literally going to do their landing pages for them, whether it's their front end off or whatever, 'cause Travis does a good job too. He really does.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to hear because it's so instructive, and that's one of the reasons people look at the referral challenge and they say, "Geez, there's a lot of stuff in here," and there is a lot of stuff in there, and but it's because we're addressing the problem from every facet. Every facet, and that's what you have to have in order to have a really complete system in place.
Well, and that's one of the things too, as far as being in this group, in terms of whether or not to have someone build landing pages and for me and the content. I mean, there's so much content at my fingertips now that's amazing. The Habit Maker Challenge, there's already a landing page written up for that, and scripts and emails, and so. Yeah, I feel like I again, once I free up my time, I'll have the time to really dive into that and create those things, create the landing page and put together the funnels and so forth. So, I just feel like then if I'm going to do all that work, wouldn't it be great if I had a social media campaign going that was actually effective as opposed to what I might put out there, which may not be so effective, So.
Yeah, I hear you, and I think it's smart, Keith. I think it's a smart way to move forward. Let's talk real quick about this person that you're bringing on as the lead trainer. How long has she been working for you?
Well, she is actually the subject of she was my subject of the book that we put together. She started out as a member, had an amazing transformation, and now is a trainer here, became a coach, and she's been here. She's been a coach about 2.5 years now for me. And she was a member for a year or so before that.
Yeah. Okay.
She's been here a long time. She's very loyal. I mean, she loves it here, and she's very loyal to the company, and, so. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. So the reason I asked that is because clearly with that, your right-hand person, your key direct report, you've got to have a good relationship, or at least a very clear relationship, and this is where the whole leadership and management side of business comes into play. And one of the things I would just strongly encourage, Aaron recommended, 6 months ago, 3 or 4 months ago, the book, what the leadership book, Aaron, Out of the Box. What is it? The leadership is
Leadership and Self-Deception.
Yeah, thank you. Leadership and Self-Deception, How to Get Out of the Box. I'm reading that book, and it kicks ass because it's not just about how to lead other people. It starts with how to lead yourself, and how that applies to other people, your family, your co-workers in business, your people who work for you. It's really well done because you ultimately have to you're going to have to work closely with this person, particularly in the beginning, to make sure that everything is moving smoothly.
Right. Yeah, and that's going to be the struggle too. Is again, I have to look at the long game as I'm going to have to spend more time right now working on this stuff. Even more time on this stuff, trying to get it handed over to her and working closely with her. But again, at the end of the day, it should mean more freedom for me. More time. Yes. So.
Right. One of the most, when we first started MPE, one of the biggest breakthroughs we brought to the marketplace really was this emphasis on dialing in your administrative assistant, getting an admin in place, and really how to delegate to them, how to free up time, and how to develop lead trainers and things like that. That was revolutionary for a lot of people, and it's revolutionary for any business because it gives you leverage and time.
Right.
That's what you got to have. All right. Well, that sounds great. Do you have you started to outline sort of how you're going to transition her, how you're going to start handing off things and then inspecting what you expect?
Yeah, I've been working on that on my end, and now it's a matter of her and I. We're going to try to meet weekly, and I'm going to start outlining those things for her and say, okay, this is how this is the onboarding process. This is the once a lead comes in, here's how we do that. Just all that stuff, and then we'll build out the standard operating procedures through that. I mean, most of it's either up here or on my laptop. So it's going to be, I've charged her with, as we go through this, I want you to take the notes and you build the SOP for it. So
beautiful. And that's so smart. And that's what the best businesses do, is that when you teach somebody how to do it and you get them to do it, and then you get them to invest, to buy into it by saying, hey, if you have a better way or way you think you can optimize this, or just, document your workflow process, and then they take ownership, and it becomes even better.
Yeah. I've picked up that tip somewhere. I can't remember where, but I was just like, yeah, I had heard that's a really good way to do it. And so that's what I'm going to do. So
beautiful.
So let me point out another one you should be getting if you're building a team. All right. That's it. Right.
Who's that by, Aaron?
The same group, Arbinger. And it's how to change lives, transform organizations. Back of it says the secret to teamwork is an outward mindset. This is the definitive guide on how to achieve it. So
sweet. Yeah. All right, good.
And one last one I would recommend is this one. I would really highly recommend this.
The Heart of Leadership. All right.
And this is how to get results with emotional intelligence. I love this book.
Aaron's the only person I've met who reads more than I do, and so whenever he makes a recommendation, I always jump on it. It's just proven time and again to be awesome. So thanks, man. All right, good. Keith, anything else?
Just one thing. I don't want to take up too much more time, but I want to give everybody else a chance. But in terms of like, you guys have put together some different things that almost kind of require Facebook pages. And, one of them was like the Local Motive page. And then I guess there's going to be also maybe a Facebook group with the thing you just put out today. I guess I want to kind of maybe get a bigger picture view around having that many. It seems like a lot of Facebook groups that I'm managing, and I don't, again, I just said I don't have a whole lot of time. So I've already got 3. I have of course, my personal, but then I have a business page and a members only access page. It's a group.
Okay. So you've got your business page, and then you've got your member only group.
Yes.
Okay. So here's what I would suggest is for right now, anything else that we've given you related to Facebook, I would set aside and look only at the Ultimate Lead Magnet, which is another group. But this is a prospect group. You can absolutely have your members join it. And that's one of the things I talked about. Some will, some won't, but it'll be great to get their support in there. But so now you'll have a group for prospecting. You'll have your group for your clients that you can manage. You might consolidate the two. It's up to you, but that's it. I would just focus on this. Local Motive really is something that I think we're probably going to transition out of, frankly, or, look at how we maybe can incorporate it in some other way. As you'll see with the Ultimate Lead Magnet, we still use the name Local Motive. It says on there, powered by Local Motive, because we want to make sure that there's that subtle programming in the prospect's mind that, hey, this is about doing good for the community. It's not just about a business trying to get more customers.
Right. Okay.
So we're using the name, but I don't think we're going to move forward in terms of creating a distinct Local Motive group or page.
Okay.
Yeah. Because this is just a better strategy.
Okay. And how does that play in at all with like the 21-day habit maker challenge? Because it was the more robust one was using Local Motive as a part of it. Right.
And see, the more robust version, and I kind of mentioned this in the video just because I was getting a little frustrated. I that was a mistake, really. The way I released that, it was too complex. It's too complicated. Ultimately, the strategy's solid, but there are too many moving parts, and so people are not going to be too eager to jump in on that because there's a lot that needs to be done. So the way I see this going forward. Is that you build let's say, Get Fit Asheville group, And your focus then becomes driving people, prospects, into that group and fulfilling on the promise and the offer, which is relatively simple to do, and I've outlined all that for you. But so you're driving people into that group, and then inside that group, and also through your email, because the group will build your email list, you make your FEOs, you make your front end offers. So if it's like the Habit Maker Challenge, or if it's the Little Black Dress Project, or whatever it may be, you present those offers inside your group to those people who already know, like, and trust you, and you'll get much better conversion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's all integrated in that way. This ultimately becomes the Get Fit Asheville, for instance, it will ultimately become the primary way that you create your own marketplace, that you build your audience and help the community and also attract new clients.
All right. Yeah. I watched the video, the one you put on the Facebook page, and I was already blown away by that. So I was eagerly awaiting you to put the rest of it out there. So I'll check it out as soon as I can. But that sounds good. I just needed that kind of big picture view of how all these pieces are working together. So that's perfect.
No, I know you do. And I've got to go back and provide that same big picture overview to everybody else so that because this is the thing in business, clarity. If you don't have clarity, you won't move forward. You're confused and you stop. So I know you're not the only one. Yeah, so
cool.
I always appreciate you asking me that. Wayne, let me just answer your question. You asked about Locomotive. The same. No, local by referral is Locomotive was going to be a component of local by referral, but no, local by referral is the sort of the umbrella for your partner process, bringing in partners, pre-qualifying them, and getting them excited and trained up on how to be a good partner for you. Locomotive was going to be a function of that, but right now, let's just drop Locomotive out of the conversation so we don't get confused by it. So now we just have local by referral, and we've got your Get Fit Asheville or Get Fit, where is it, Wayne? It's Greenville? Yeah, Get Fit Greenville, whatever those two things. So they're separate and distinct. Oh, good. Your local by referral page shows up on Google. Excellent. Well, it's been SEO'd at the wazoo, so that's great. I'm glad to hear that. All right. Keith, anything else?
No, that's it. You guys, let's move on.
Okay, great. Well, Wayne, let's jump down to you then, brother. And let us know how you're doing and any questions, issues you've got.
Everything's good so far. Sorry about your wife's mother.
Thank you.
We just started about 3 weeks ago a 30-day challenge. Those seem to be going really good for us.
Wayne, I'm sorry. Hang on 1 second. My daughter's calling me, and I got to check on her just a second. Yeah. Yeah, Heather. What's up? Oh, sorry. Okay, thank you. That's all right. Sorry about that, but Camille's out of town, and I just had to make sure when the kids is calling. All right, I'm back, Wayne. Go ahead.
We just started a 30-day program about 3 weeks ago. They seem to be doing really good for us. And I used Rick's advice when we got off the phone or off this a couple weeks ago. I got on with him privately, and it helped me a lot. And we closed 100% of the people. That group closed like you.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's beautiful. And that's confidence inspiring, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, we have 28 people in that. And I think if it goes like the other 30 days that we've done the past 2 or 3 months, I think over half of those will join. So that's going good.
Sweet.
Everything else is going good. I'm just trying to also get another trainer in place so I'm not the only one on the floor. The person that I thought was going to be able to work out is a school teacher, and I don't think I'm going to be able to replace her income enough for her to be happy enough to stay full-time. So I just have 2 or 3 part-timers right now. It was recommended by our, part of Fit Body Boot Camp. It's a franchise. It was recommended a while back that we start a community page. So I haven't finished listening to your video yet, but ours is called Fit and Healthy in Greenville, which is basically kind of like it's kind of give back to the community, just kind of a big Facebook page to invite everybody to. So I finished listening to your instructions and I have my new admin person finishes reading through it, whether or not to just make that what this is that you're talking about. Merge it together.
Yeah, I like that. I like that name. I don't like it as much as Get Fit Greenville, but still, you've got it. It's established. That's fine. And it's a good alternative, because that's one of the things I was thinking through, is that in some places, like Rick, for example, you've already got Get Fit. What do you Get Fit, your county name?
Get Fit Camden County, and I've got almost 1,100 people in it already.
Yeah.
But I started it almost 2 years ago, I think.
All right. That's great. And see, but I think what some folks might run into is the inability to get the name Get Fit, whatever their town name is, in Facebook. It might already be taken. And so if it is, I think like Fit and Healthy Greenville, that could work just fine too. So good. So you already have that established, Wayne, or started?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. I'm trying to see how many people enter in it. I think it's like 500 or 600 people.
Awesome. I mean, see, that's great. And now you get them engaged, really engaged, and start doing some smart things with that. That's a great start. That's a great start. That's exciting. Yeah.
So I'm interested to finish reading through and your stuff and looking at the video and see what we can do with it.
Yeah, perfect. That's good. And as I mentioned, you guys, I don't think you were on when I said it, but I said it in the video too. We're bringing in the bigwig expert to help us to consult on this thing, and so we're going to get really good guidance in addition to what is already really solid strategy. But most of all, it's the offer, it's the messaging. It's the positioning and the messaging that really we've dialed in so nicely on this. That'll make a distinct difference. And then, of course, the conversion process, because that's ultimately the objective, is to convert these people that are in your free group into paying clients. So we're developing the process for that, but already it's pretty simplistic the way I've outlined it. So we'll keep talking about this so it becomes clear. This is, like I said, going to be a major part of what we do in the referral challenge.
Cool. Has anyone done the Habit Maker so far that you know of?
Jeff T is launching it tomorrow, I believe, is his start date. And he's doing sort of his own version of it. But as I mentioned earlier, I think Habit Maker right now you could put on the back burner and focus on your local Facebook group, and once you get them engaged, you launch Habit Maker into that group. So that becomes, again, your primary focus for everything that you do.
Okay.
Yeah. When I say into the group and your email list, of course, because those two are supportive and synergistic of one another, and the group will feed your email list. Wayne, about the bringing in help, support, how are you do you have any leads right now for getting a full-time trainer, or do any of your part-timers, can any of them transition, or are they ready to transition to full-time?
No, the ones that I have part-time now have other full-time jobs already. There was a local trainer stopped by that tried out our boot camp yesterday that she works at another gym. She's been established, and she found out that there was some things going on at that place that behind her back that she didn't like, typical gym drama, but really knowledgeable, and I'll see how interested she is in coming back in and seeing if she can be, part-time and maybe work up to full-time.
Awesome. But how are you generating leads, or have you started to generate any leads to fill this position?
No, I haven't put anything out there yet.
All right. But you have plans to do that?
Well, it depends. The teacher, the one that I mentioned that I might not can replace her income, I think it's kind of on the edge. I've tried telling her that if she can hold on for a couple months, I think we could manage to pay her what she needs, but it might take a couple of months. But she has to make a decision before school starts on whether or not which way she's going to go. Yeah. So the one that she told me about a week ago was that her and her husband had decided that that she just can't do it right now, that she's going to have to stick with the school because of the benefits and stuff and insurance and things.
I can't blame her.
It's kind of on the edge, but once I get a definite that she can't do it, I'm either going to try to interview this person further that just came yesterday, or then I'll put some ads out, or through the email email list at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I would just encourage you to start on that sooner rather than later, so you get a decent flow of leads, because it can sometimes take got to talk to 10 people to find one good one sometimes.
I understand.
Yeah.
So Wayne, let me ask. I'm sorry, Keith, go ahead, buddy.
I was just going to ask Wayne if you've ever seen. I actually have a booklet I downloaded from NPE about kind of having group interviews going on all the time. Basically, you schedule where you're at least doing like one group interview a month, let's say, and then of course when you're looking to hire someone, maybe it's 2 a month or 1 a week. So you're just always constantly interviewing trainers. That's actually what I've been doing. I'm not looking to hire anyone right now, but I've talked to several trainers and I have their information, and then because you never know what happens. I could have somebody walk in here tomorrow and say, "Hey, I decided I'm going to move to Tennessee," and then that's it. Now I got to go find a trainer, and I've got 10 resumes on my desk.
Right.
You can use like Craigslist or Indeed or email list or whatever, just to let people know, hey, the third Thursday of every month I'm conducting group interviews or whatever. So
I need to look into that more. I don't understand the logistics of it, of how you telling someone that you're hiring, but maybe you're not yet ready to hire somebody. So maybe you can share that with me and I can find out more about it, or you guys can tell me now.
All right, Eric.
Yeah. So just like with marketing for clients, you want to be pretty much consistently marketing for talent. And that's one of the breakthroughs that we brought to the industry years ago, was this process of setting up a dedicated landing page and running ads consistently, driving leads to the landing page, putting them through a rigorous pre-qualification process before you even talk to them. And maybe they've changed that system a little bit now, but and that sounds interesting, is maybe just, putting them through a couple steps and then saying, hey, we're going to do this interview process on this day every month, or this month, whatever the message is. And then just getting 2 or 3 people or however many are available to show up and talk to them. And I would just be completely transparent up front. I'd say, I'm always looking for talent. Always. And if I find the right person, I will hire that person. There's absolute truth to that. And that, there's no obligation ever to hire somebody just because you're interviewing them. So there's no, double talk or anything unethical about that. Does that make sense, Wayne?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, I would encourage you to do that, because what you never want to be is, just as Keith was saying, is if somebody comes in and says, I'm moving next week, or just like, hey, I'm tired of this, or, I had an accident, or whatever. All sorts of things can happen, and you want to have people that are ready to jump in, because otherwise your business is, you never really get that traction. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Thanks.
All right, cool.
So let me ask you, before we move on, is how many more clients do you need to justify bringing on a new trainer? Where do you need to be client-wise to justify a new trainer?
I can't really put my finger on it.
That's step one. All right.
Right.
You need to know when you can justify a new trainer, right?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you can define when that is, then you can start shooting for that goal, and you try to create a deadline to reach it. And then the next time you interview, you say, we're looking to bring on a full-time trainer as soon as I hit X amount of clients, or don't tell them that at all, but at least you know it, right? You've got to have a rabbit chase. You've got to have a goal to strive for. So figure out how many more clients you have to have, and go for it. See if you can get them.
Yeah.
I remember a few weeks ago about the checks and balances between my head admin person, which is the wife, and me, and you said that that's a good checks and balance to have, and that's what I'm running into now. I feel like that we could afford to hire her full time at what she needs to be, because it's really easy to turn on a campaign and get 2 or 3 full-time paid in fulls for a year. You know, if you need some extra money, it's really easy to send out a promotion to your email list, get 2 or 3 paid in fulls. That's a few $1,000 if you need some extra money. So I know how to do that. So in my mind, I think we're at a place that we could handle it. But my check and balance person, my admin person, doesn't believe that we are. So that's the struggle that I'm in.
Well, then talk to your admin and find out what she feels is, you know, the amount of customers you have to be able to justify bringing on a new customer, a new client, a trainer, excuse me. And at the end of the day, what I would encourage you to do is to know what that number is, and then pursue back to. I don't know if you've watched Eric's new release today or not. But the very first thing he talks about is the one thing, right? Figure out what that number is, concentrate on getting to that point, and you'll solve at least one phase of your staffing problem.
Yeah,
I got it. I just needed to hear it.
Yeah, you know, there's that natural tension, and we talked about this before, between the accountant, you know, the person responsible for the dollars and cents, the admin, your wife in this case, and the entrepreneur, the person who's more willing to take risk. And there will always be that tension, and they will generally never be able to fully understand the confidence that we have in our ability to make things happen. And so that's why we're entrepreneurs and they're not. So you have to deal with that tension and work around it, clearly, particularly because she's your wife. But it's also healthy. It's a good thing, because she will make you consider things that you wouldn't otherwise consider. You might have just jumped in. And so you pull each other. It's positive in both ways. But so let me just back up to what Aaron was saying too. And that's the perfect way to go about it, I think, is for you to sit down, do the numbers. Say you're at $200,000 a year right now. Say you need to get to, you figure, or maybe your wife figures, you need to be at 220 in order to justify the cost of this. So you say, okay, how do I add $20,000 per year onto my EFT or whatever it is? And you just divide your average lifetime client value into that. So then that tells you how many new clients you're going to need. And then you're going to need 18 new clients. So then you come up with a plan. Here's what I'm going to do. Here are the 1, 2, or 3 different marketing campaigns I'm going to undertake to get those 18 new clients. And then you go to your wife with a plan and you say, here's what I want to do. Here's my plan for making it happen. Then it becomes much more compelling.
Beautiful. Beautifully said.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, cool. Wayne, anything else?
No, everything else is going good. We've done some, we've talked about things like this before. We've done some in-house, not really promotions, but like challenges, kind of like fun things to do. Like last week, it was holding a plank for a minute and having people post pictures and things like that, or doing it at the end of the boot camp session and posting videos and pictures and sharing it a lot on Facebook. Yeah. And and more traction this week was we have monkey bars in the boot camp, and to get people to see if they can go to the link to the monkey bars and posting that on Facebook and things, and pictures and stuff like that get shared. And it's really cool to see people crowd around the monkey bars and people clapping and applauding for somebody going down the monkey bars. And it was a community, and it was a lot better than just talking about losing weight or
right. Because it's fun. You're showing people having fun, and people want to be a part of fun. Now, that's great, man. That's so. I guess the objective now is to and you can map all this stuff out. And I think that's one of the things that when the more structured you are about business in a lot of ways, the better off you're going to be. So now you've got, let's say, 3 or 4 different cool activities that get people engaged and are enjoyable and produce some social proof that you can document. So now maybe start thinking about 5 or 6 more ways, and then map it out, build out a calendar. So you got your 6-month calendar. Here's what I'm going to be doing every week, this fun thing, capturing this, putting the proof up, that kind of thing. That's wonderful that you're doing that.
One of the members that we have, we're trading out membership, and she helps manage the Facebook page, and she puts up posts on a daily basis. She goes and finds interesting posts to put on the pages. So that took a lot off my plate, having to worry about doing that every day. So that helped a lot.
No, that's great. That's
The
great.
new admin person is here listening in the background, but she's one of those kind of people that's smarter than I am. So I just tell her what I want to accomplish, and then she knows how to do it better than what I want to do. So sometimes it's hard to let go, but when you see that somebody is doing it better than you can, it's easy to let it go. So
yes, it is.
That helped a lot.
So,
Agreed. But sorry, go ahead, Aaron.
So Wayne, is your admin able to hear what we're saying?
Yep. Not the wife admin.
No, the other admin. Bring her around.
Yeah,
Bring her around, and let's introduce. Yeah.
Her name is Erica.
Erica. Hi, Erica. Hi.
So, yeah, congratulations. Apparently you're doing a bang-up job. I've got one challenge for you to do, okay? And all of your posting, I want you to start thinking in these lines. How can I make this more than losing weight? How can I make this more than just about fitness? How can I make this a movement? Think that way. If you can create a movement, you can create a business.
Yeah.
How can you create a movement is your big task.
Yeah, one thing I haven't brought up that I want to ask, that I've been trying to think of what could be the brand of what we do, is that not just health or weight loss, but that you have one body, make it a fit body. Because I want people to realize they only have that one body. And I'm wondering if there's a way to keep repeating that enough, or doing enough videos about it, or weaving it in emails and posts that we do enough that maybe that statement alone is enough to be a brand. So I wanted to run that by you.
I love that. Eric?
Yeah, I do too. I think it's a strong theme, and that's exactly how you brand, is what you just said. It's consistent impressions. But you need to elaborate on it. There needs to be a story behind it, and that's where the emotion comes in, and that's what Aaron talks about in storytelling training. And so you don't have to elaborate every time, but periodically you need to restate the story or talk about elements of it, because it's the emotional component that will stick in people's heads.
Yeah.
I got it. Thanks.
Now, that's great. Erica, it's awesome to meet you, and we're great. Wayne is awesome. We love having him in the group. So you're working for a good man, as you, I'm sure, are well aware. But we wish you all the best, and we're here to support you just like we support Wayne. So you get on the call with him anytime, and we'll help.
All right, thank you.
Great.
Well, that's great, Wayne. And I think one other thing I wanted to say is regarding Erica, not specifically to her, to you, but regarding her, is you said she's smart and she's taking ownership and moving forward with those things, and that's great. But just like we were talking about with Keith before, get Erica to document her process for that, how she does things. Because let's say she wants to go on vacation for a week and she's gone. You got to have somebody fill in and do it.
I completely forgot that. That's one of the main things, besides tracking leads and numbers. The other main thing I wanted her doing was tracking the SOPs and doing the doing the staff handbook. So we have processes like you guys suggested to read, and I forgot the name of it already.
Yeah, work the system, maybe.
Work the system. Yeah. So that's where I got the ideas, and she's going down and doing everything that happens in here. I want it to be written down in a process so people know what to do, and that's her. That's what she does. One of the things.
The alien abduction manual.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'll tell you, if you do that real well, and this is something for Adrian to hear too, and potentially depending on his continued status with FitBody, but if you do that real well, you can potentially turn that around and sell it to FitBody as a product, and say, hey, here's something that I've documented all these processes, and that you can sell this to all your other franchisees, but I get 50% or whatever. So just something to think about. I'm not trying to get you off on a wild tangent, but there is always that opportunity.
Right.
So good for you for doing that. All right. Rick, let's get to you, brother. Let us know how things are going and any questions or issues we can help you with.
Okay, my daughter just walked in, so I've seen who it was.
Oh.
Really, I've been kind of waiting for you to get done what you're working on now so I can really dig into it. We can start putting it in place. Like we said earlier, I already have the group that's been going for a couple of years. Get Fit Camden County, have 1,026 people in it. So it's, it's going good, and we're providing content every day, a lot of times, several times a day. So the big key there will be transitioning it to this and, just putting more information in there and kind of leading it to what we're going to be doing here. So I don't think that should be much of an issue once I get a chance to dig into everything and kind of absorb it. I've been kind of waiting for you to get it done so I can just dig into it all at one time instead of piecemealing it. Then you tend to miss things.
Sure.
That's just how I operate better that way.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I've had all kinds of other things going on outside of the referral challenge. With my business, a lot of pretty cool things going on. I'm actually on a 100-day sprint right now to get 5 things done that I've got working. One is a project that Aaron's working on with me with Pro Diets, which actually I see what Aaron and I are talking about doing. All of a sudden, I see a way it could work with what you're talking about, Eric. And we'll have to talk about it a little later because it's kind of the same idea, creating a Facebook group with a low barrier of entry for nutrition that we're putting together that's going to lead to recurring income on the nutrition side. I can see that working. And honestly, I already planned on using my community group as a feeder to build this thing. So, and I can see some things where they can work together. And once I dig into what you put out today a little bit more, I'll have more answers for that or have a better, clearer vision of that. Also working on a really cool product with Jason Hunter. I think you know Jason, don't you?
Yeah.
Where we're putting together a real cool product where we're going to literally take trainers and teach them how to literally make money with supplements. And we're going to pretty much do it for them, lead them by the hand and provide them everything they need. That's kind of cool project got going on. Something else that, talking to Pat, our buddy Pat Rigsby a couple weeks ago, the Fit Pro Business Summit really, really went well. But with everything I put together there, I've got exactly what we need to help trainers do local fitness summits in their community and build their own email list and have something that can be a feeder for leads in their own local community. So it's something I'm thinking about doing, and I've actually put together all the templates and workbooks for it, and it's pretty much ready to go. I just need to make sure they're, go through the proofreading, and then I'm going to start helping trainers do their own local fitness summits. I think that'd be a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, well, I know Keith had asked about that, the idea behind that. And I think I think, Rick, you're one of those few people, and I mean that by few, who is able, it seems, to effectively manage multiple projects simultaneously on a fairly large scale, because most people can't do that. And, but power to you, brother. I mean, you got energy out the wazoo. Whatever you got, we need to bottle it and sell that.
Well, the 2 projects, we got Aaron helping, and Jason, is involved with 2 of them. So we're able to split up the workload. That makes it a lot easier, than trying to do it all myself. Again, like we talk about in somebody's business, like what Wayne's doing. He found somebody that's really smart that he can pass things on to and let them get it done. Yeah. Well, I've got Jason Hunter, who's a very smart guy, as you know. Yeah. He and I are doing stuff, so he's doing part of it, I'm doing part of it. So the workload isn't as big as it seems, okay? Even though it is a big project, it's not quite as bad as it would have been if I was doing it myself, like when it was MPS.
Yeah.
the other one, really, the local group that, like what Aaron and I are talking about, really, that thing's ready to go as soon as we get what Aaron's working on for us dialed in. I mean, and I'm not saying that to put any pressure on you, Aaron. Wasn't the point. I just realized what I said, though.
Yeah.
But once he's got that dialed in, we're ready to turn that thing on.
Awesome.
And we see it as a huge, it's going to be a huge moneymaker. You and I have talked about it, actually, Eric.
Yeah, and let me just interrupt you for a second, because I do want you to keep us updated on that, because I'll tell you, as I was building out the ultimate lead magnet, the Get Fit Orlando thing, Get Fit Your Town, I was thinking, because I was thinking of different options for incorporating nutrition into this as a.
Well, that's what I was getting ready to allude to as well. Yeah.
And so one of the, I thought about Coach Catalyst, and then I thought, well, no, what about Rick Streb and Fit Pro Diets? And so I was on your website for a bit and looking around, and I thought this could absolutely work. I just didn't have time to reach out and discuss it, because we can always do that later. But I think that there's a lot of possibility there, particularly because you have all the tools in place. And that's another way for trainers, for business owners, to monetize that group.
This is going to be real easy, too, for them, the way I'm going to teach it and the way we're doing it. Because that's what I'm doing after we get this done. My intention is to show trainers how to do it in their local community, which makes sense with what we're talking about. So, yeah, we do need to talk more about that, quite candidly, because all we're doing is we've got a low barrier and offer. We're going to offer 30 days worth of individually customized meal plans for like a $1.99 trial. We're giving them 30 days worth of done-for-you meal plans. We're all our registered dietitian design. We're putting them in this Facebook group, and we're going to deliver ridiculous amount of content. Just over-the-top content. After that 30 days, it goes to $9.95 a month. You've got recurring income built right there. But here's the thing. When we're doing it in a local area and we're teaching trainers to do it, all of this is going to lead straight to your training program, because you've got a captured audience that have already gotten to know you, like you, trust you on the nutrition side. We're going to help you provide the content and how to do it. Now, who are they going to turn to when they're ready to train with somebody? And you've got a group that you can make offers to exclusively.
Right. I like it on so many levels, and because if you've got X number of people, whatever number it is, 1,000 people, no matter how good your offer is for personal training services or whatever it is, you might only get, let's say, 30% total penetration into that marketplace of 1,000 people. You might only get 30% of them total over time for that one offer. And that's why you need multiple offers in order to totally maximize the monetization opportunity. And having this nutrition, which we know they need and we know is a key component to getting results, gives the business owners another way to monetize and a way to get even better results for these folks. So it's a winner all the way around. We'll definitely need to continue this conversation and find a way to make it work.
Yeah, because, I see it being something real big. And then what we're doing, which we were just talking to developers today and everything, like I said, we're going to be teaching trainers also how to monetize supplement sales, because most trainers, let's face it, suck at it, for lack of a better way of putting it. We're putting together information right now. Jason's driving down to be with me this weekend, and we're going to have it all put together, where we're literally going to be providing them with 4 different lead magnets, like all the different email content to lead people to the lead magnet, to the lead magnets. 2 of the lead magnets they're going to be able to brand personally. All kinds of recipes and everything, and just ridiculous amount of content that they're going to be able to put out to their list. And it's all going to lead to selling supplements. Obviously, the supplements we're going to be trying to sell are JLab Pro, but we're going to have links built in and everything to where basically we're going to be doing the selling for everybody.
Yeah, similar to the way what's it called?
Yeah.
What was it?
Procreate.
program. Yeah, presumably
Except we're taking a step further.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think that's awesome. And as long as people understand, business owners understand that this is not a substitute for their cutting their cabbage, their primary business, but it's a complement to, and it supports everything else. Yeah. No,
but what's really cool is, like in Pro Diets, whenever there's going to be a protein powder, we're going to have the default protein powder, JLab Pro, with a link that people can go buy it. If the trainer is an affiliate for JLab Pro, it's going to automatically populate their affiliate link, so they're getting that 30% commission.
Yeah. So that's when you make it plug and play like that. That's awesome. As long as the products are rock solid, and we know Jason's reputation, and he does great work. So yeah, no, that's fantastic, brother. That's fantastic. So that's great. And I think Aaron, I don't want to speak for him, but I think clearly based on we both have an interest in integrating this to some degree into the referral challenge, because we know it's going to help help our members.
Yeah. So. And it's going to be a great recurring revenue for any fitness professional once we get it dialed in and we're able to teach them how to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be huge. I mean, somebody just has 300 people in that little group. They're making $3,000 a month without even including supplement sales.
Yeah. What's phenomenal about Rick's program is that 52% of his last year's income came off of supplement sales.
Nutrition.
Right. Nutrition sales, right. Let that sink in for a moment. That is a shocking, that is a phenomenal statistic I've never heard in any fitness facility anywhere. All right. 52% of his income came from nutrition. Yeah. That's like, whoa.
Yeah. It just shows you the power of it when it's done right.
I mean, honestly, and I was showing this because to my coaching group, and that's something else since the Fit Pro Business Summit, I've had a lot of people asking me to help, so I started a coaching group. And yesterday I showed them a screen flow of my whole sales funnel and everything. And they actually saw that there's 10 different ways I'm making money with nutrition in my business right
now. Wow. Yeah.
And I ask every one of them, how many different ways are you making money with nutrition?
Right.
And it doesn't take me any more work.
Yeah. And that's huge. But you know what ultimately I know will resonate with everybody in the referral challenge, because we're all the same type of people, is that it's not just a way to make more money. It's a way to help your clients get better results, exactly. And make more money. So it's that combination that's, that really makes it so powerful.
Right. And Rick couldn't possibly hope to make 52% of his income if he wasn't delivering it.
Oh, no doubt. I'm not questioning that at all. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know your intentions, Rick. I'm just saying that's why I'm so excited about it and so interested in helping to integrate it further, folks in the referral challenge, because they all want that's their primary drivers, get better results for their clients, just like, we all do. Yeah.
Right. And once we have this dialed in, which it'll be in short order, we'll be able to start teaching everybody how to do it. I'm actually already doing it with my coaching group over in Nutrition Profit System. And here within the next 30 to 60 days, I should have plenty of case studies. That's how this is working on a local basis.
That's beautiful. Well, I'm excited, and that's cool. And it's always interesting to hear what you got going on. Like I said, if there's a special coffee or a vitamin B12 that you're doing that I need to know about, please. Yeah.
Must be this Coca-Cola I'm drinking today.
Yeah.
All right. The only other thing I have going on besides that is I'm writing another book that's going to be the Nutrition Coaching Advantage, which is basically teaching this stuff. And I plan to have it out before the end of the year.
Fantastic. That's awesome. And that's so powerful. You were talking about brandable lead magnets for your people. If you're able to give them a book that they can use, an actual real book.
That's what it is. It's a 51 The brandable one we're giving them is a 51-page fat loss GPS is what I call it. It's my best lead magnet.
Nice. All right, cool. All right, Rick. Well, thank you for the update, and I'm a little tired just listening to everything that you're doing. I think I need a nap. Adrian, let's jump down to you, man. Let us know how you're doing. Give us an update. Any questions you got?
Yep. Things going pretty well. I've just for the past month just been back at it. Since my current admin who has helped me a lot was moving back to the east side. So I've just been doing a lot. But it's actually been pretty fun. Ironically enough, in the process of going back and doing everything, I've refined almost everything that I used to do. So that was a nice little discovery there. Yeah. So I'm just trying to figure out exactly what the most important things are that I have been refining as far as just administrative duties are. But ultimately, I'm just learning about what priorities really matter, just getting people in there, just converting them to a membership, and then just keeping them. So it's just keeping it really nice and simple. So as soon as I nail that down and write it out, then I have a really easy procedural module for the next admin I bring in, which I'm currently doing right now. There's 3 really good candidates who I'm looking at, all of whom are actually current members. But strangely enough, all of whom are in the middle of praying about and needing some sort of life change because they feel like they want to do something involved with who we are and what we do, which makes it harder to pick one of the 3. But so I'm just in the middle of that, which is kind of fun. I've never taken this long to hire somebody. It's been 2 or 3 weeks now, and I haven't even gotten past a first interview. I'm just taking my sweet time. It's fun. But there's no rush, and I keep communicating with them about that anyway, so they're not anxious or nervous or anything like that. So that's just going on with that, just refining things, getting back into it, getting the admin on board, and then as of late, trying to really focus on developing the team. Probably now more so than ever, actually, just around things that I never assumed were really that important. To me, they weren't that important. Really coming up with a vision for the business and actually sharing that with the team. Getting really nailing down just a handful of core values that I insist that we live by and sharing that with the team, things like that, things that I just haven't really ever thought about before because I'm so used to just doing everything on my own as it is. But now I'm realizing that and I've been feeling it a lot lately too. I know I can do everything and it doesn't really bring me as much joy as it used to. But when I think about it, I get really happy and excited about how well I can develop my team to do things that I'm doing. That excites me now, which it didn't really before, but now it does.
Good.
So that's a different pace for me. Well, not a pace, different mentality for me. But it makes me take a step back.
That's part of business growth is that the recognition, and this is something I had trouble with, I've always had trouble with, is the recognition that the excitement can wear off and you have to find excitement in new things. And ultimately the people who do the best find excitement in the optimization of processes because that's the name of the game. Once you've got your basic fundamentals in place, it just becomes the optimization of those things and striving to do them incrementally better and always looking for innovation and big things that can really impact your business dramatically. But it's fundamentally going to be the little things done, a lot of little things done right that make a great business.
Yeah. And then, so those are just the little things that are just happening day to day, but I don't know, I'm just gonna calm about it. But then ultimately, one of the most intriguing things and one of the biggest things that's been happening is since I've gone back into the sales process, since I'm doing all those membership meetings, and I like doing one-on-ones. I just do. I just like sitting down, just having a conversation with somebody, even though I could probably save a lot of time if I did a group thing. But I just like doing it one-on-one. But for some reason, and I have a good track record, I really do. In the past...
Closing-wise,
the past month, I've brought on 40 people, and I've only not sold 5 of them. So it's 35 out of 40. So like it's there, but for some reason, and this is the intriguing part, because I think it has a lot to do with me. For some reason, I still get really nervous when I'm talking to somebody, and I can't shake it. It's really annoying. Like I'm always thinking about.
Yeah, but that you've got so much great stuff here. It's like let the rest of us jump in just a little bit, comment on a couple of things. So, one of those things. It's good that you get nervous. It's good that you get anxious. It's like what they say. You know, I played volleyball for 20 years competitively, and before every game I'd get butterflies. I mean, every game. And it's like if you're not, there's something a little wrong. You know, you're putting your game face on, so it's natural to get that, and that's the adrenaline surge, and that makes you really good.
Yeah, it's nervous excitement.
Yeah, that's right. No, that's good.
Let that drive you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
And then I guess that helps me kind of put that away. The other thing that actually really bothers me, it bothers me because I don't like it about myself, but like I still feel like I'm in that mode of thought where if I don't, like when I sit down to spend time with somebody and they end up like giving objections left and right, and they leave without like closing on a membership, I can never like help but feel like that was entirely my fault. And I feel like I wasted like both of our time in the first place, you know? And I don't know what to do about that. I don't, because I get upset about it and things like that. And I feel like a lot of it was like, what did I do wrong? You know?
But see, Adrian, it's that exactly what you just described that is going to be the reason why today that you are way ahead of most people your age, and why you're going to continue to stay on top, because you give a damn, and because you don't blame others, you look at yourself first and take responsibility and say, how can I do better? The only thing I would recommend to you is to find a way, and this just comes through experience, to separate the emotion after the fact. When you're in the moment, it's good to be a little emotional. After the fact, you got to cut yourself some slack. I think you analyze, you always review and optimize, hey, what could I have done better? But you don't beat yourself up.
Yeah. That's what I'm having a hard time with, is separating that.
Look, you know, Adrian and I have talked about this a couple of times, but look, when you go from 250 clients to 290 in 30 days, after you step back into the sales process, you've got no reason to complain. You've only got reason to be shouting from the rooftop, because you keep that pace up, by the end of the year, you're opening number 2, man. Yeah.
And that, what you brought up there brings up, I think, the root of the issue that I'm currently going through, is that I should be celebrating, but I don't. And I still feel like I should be doing better. So I need to, I don't know, I need to figure out where that's coming from.
So Adrian is in a habit loop, right? He's got himself stuck in this, I can't feel good about what I've done because I didn't close 100%. That's right. Unrealistic, guy. That is so unrealistic, and it's just self-defeating. Rick, speak.
That will bring you to an early death, Adrian. I mean, being very honest with you, that will destroy. You need to realize the good things you're doing. I think at times, from the times we've talked, I think you're overcritical of yourself, and you're not accepting the fact that you are honestly overachieving. But you don't see it that way. Okay? We all sit back, we hear what you're doing, and I guarantee, I wish I was doing what you were doing when I was your age.
Right on.
I really, truly do. I mean, you need to step back and realize that you're doing something exceptional. And now, I'm not saying settle for where you're at and settle for less, but don't beat yourself up because you didn't get 5 of 40 people.
And I think that's why I do that, though, because I'm fearful that if I like take a minute to like appreciate what's going on, then I'll like get complacent fast.
I don't think you ever will. Personally, saying that you would get complacent is like me saying I'd get complacent. It doesn't happen. There's something that drives you. Just like there's something that drives me, there's something that drives Eric and everybody else. But you better learn to do it, because I'm serious. You're going to lead yourself to an early death. You're going to end up with less hair than I have at a much younger age. Okay? You need to enjoy life and understand that you're doing something special there. You really, truly do.
And dude, listen to me, Adrian. Listen, I want you to get that book right there. Get it.
Stop filling up my library, Aaron. I have like 8 books.
Read more, read faster.
Book, get it, and you'll start learning about these habit cues that are just kicking you. This is you. Right?
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good book.
Yeah.
You're a badass. Yeah, that's a good book. So is Habit.
They're both
point
yellow.
is, you got yourself in this habit loop, and you got to break it. And this is going to help you get it, read it, absorb it, and put it to use.
Dang it, Aaron.
Yeah. But what Rick was just talking about, I think is the most important message every entrepreneur needs, because we're all, whether introvert or extrovert, we're all kind of A-type people. I mean, that's why you get into this business. You're driven. You want to create something cool and have freedom. And part of that is taking responsibility, taking ownership for most everything. And that can be a crushing burden if you don't celebrate your victories, and if you don't know how to separate the emotion when it comes to things that don't go necessarily as well as they could, because you got a long life ahead of you, brother. You're super fit. You got money. You're going to live a long, long time. So you better learn how to get happy now. Otherwise, you got a lot of years of unhappiness ahead of you.
Preach it, Eric.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm serious. You need to find joy and pleasure in what you do. And
back to this. Get it.
I have that one, Aaron.
Read it.
Yeah.
Read it.
Fine.
And you always get good conversation started because you got us old guys here. Man, when I was your age, I was in the bar. I mean, my story at least. If I had what you had when I was your age, I'd be on the beach in Cabo right now. I wouldn't be. Yeah. No, it's good. You got everything going for you, man. You just got to find a way to find some peace.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be your own best cheerleader.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to back up to one other point about the sales. You talked about being back in sales and how you're kind of enjoying it, even though, there's the balance issue that you got to figure out. I think that, I think it's so important to be in the sales process, to never extricate yourself completely from the sales process, because that's really clearly it's not only the point, it's the crux, it's the core, wherever, I don't know the better word for it, that drives the whole business, but it's also where you get the best intelligence about your prospects, where you learn the most and you continually stay engaged with the people to whom you're selling, because you're talking to them all the time, and it's so valuable.
That makes sense. I just wonder how to do that while scaling it. You know what I mean? Like if I get somebody who can help doing that.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, that's it right there. I'm not saying you got to do it all. I'm just saying I would never completely extricate yourself from it. That's the one thing I would abdicate I would delegate everything in my business except for marketing and sales. Me personally, I would get help for sales and I'd get help for marketing, but I would never completely push it off. I would always keep my hands on that.
Right. That makes sense.
And understand it's something that a person does develop a passion for. I mean, most people hate selling. So the fact that you're enjoying it, that is a good thing. And the fact that you understand that at an early age gets back to what we were just saying before, that you need to enjoy it and understand that, like Eric was saying, it is the engine that runs our businesses. So the fact that you enjoy it and you're trying to improve it, I mean, you're going to be unstoppable as long as you learn to enjoy what the hell you're doing.
Yeah.
You really are.
That's the message right there for you, Adrian. You should write that on your wall.
I have a lot of things I need to write down.
Do you write a lot of stuff down? Do you take a lot of notes?
Yeah, no, I like these things. Like I just have these. I have like 6 of them by my computer over here. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. If you could see my desk right now, it's literally covered. I mean, I'm just a huge writer down or note taker guy. For me, it's just about organizing all the information.
You just need one above your computer or and put it several places in your house, Adrian. Just 2 words is all it needs to say. Enjoy life.
Woo!
That's all you need right there.
Come on, Brett.
Enjoy life and put it several different places where it's prominent and then embrace it.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially because you're getting to the point at some point soon, you might want to start a family. I know you've got a girlfriend, maybe you get engaged, get married at some point. And believe me, girls like being around guys that make them happy. And it's hard to make somebody happy unless you're happy.
Yeah. I know. We've already had those conversations.
Yeah.
Like ongoing.
Yeah. And if you were a loser, then it would be different. You'd have a reason to, you'd have a good excuse. But you're the exact opposite. Yeah. That's funny.
Don't be driven that you miss life.
Yeah.
That's really what it boils down to.
Yeah. Aaron was telling me that earlier.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's cool. I think we're all probably in the same boat, at least the older guys. It's neat to watch and hear and see what you're going through, because I think we've all experienced it on some level at some point in our lives. And, we found ways through it, and we know you'll find a way through it. And we're just trying to share our feelings about it. But it is kind of interesting because you're so much young. I mean, you're almost half my age. It's just funny.
Yeah, it reminds me of like the conversations I have with like my clients. They're like, "You're old enough to be my son," and I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, that's good. And so you're at 290 clients now?
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome. How does that
a year and a half?
Yeah. How does that compare globally to the Fit Body brand?
I don't know. I haven't kept track of those metrics. I know that the range is like anywhere from 100 to 500 or 600. I'm not sure what the average is, but I think that's because it lends itself to the group training model.
I'm just surprised. Anybody that's got 500 or 600, that would be interesting to talk to that person to see, especially if they're doing it out of one facility, one location. I mean,
isn't that close to what Fred's doing?
Yeah. Well, Fred has a physical. Well, you've got a physical. Both you guys have physical location. I guess all the Fit Bodies, or most of them do. Yeah, Fred's got 400 some plus. So yeah, you're right. It is 5 now. Yeah. But that's interesting, and I think it's just the sweetest model versus going for multiple locations, which you can make work too. But I just like the single location maximum profit model. I think is.
And that's. You know what? Now that you brought that up, I wanted to talk about that because that's something that I'm struggling with. Because I want to have a vision for the business that I can passionately share with my team. But I keep going back and forth between one location or multiple. I'm like, neither one like has a sense of like, yeah, I want that. But like,
you know what Mike Tyson says? He says everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face. So you got to start with a plan. You just got to pick one. And I would, from my experience, which is extensive, I mean, there are few people in this industry who have talked with and consulted with and coached as many fitness business owners as I have. Pat Rigsby is probably the only other person I know of who's done more than me. And I can tell you that the stories of people starting multiple location businesses and going under are legion. The stories of people growing a single business and getting rich from it, although not legion, are substantial. If there's one model that I recommend, it's it's the single location maximum profit model. There's less headaches and there's more profit, and to me that means a better life. So that's what I would say to focus on. However, in a few years down the road, if you decide I'm ready and I want more locations, and boom, do it. But I'd say your initial short-term goal in your vision right now should be maximize the opportunity with your single location.
Okay.
I have to agree with that.
To quote Eric Ruth, go deep before you go wide.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, and then okay, yeah, I can build a vision around that. That makes sense to me. And then totally unrelated to that. So that was a quick conversation. Thanks for that. Another thing I had was I'm trying to do, because Aaron's been helping me with it too. I'm trying to implement a member mentor program. And my specific question with that is I have everything detailed from what they're going to help like a new person with for their first workout. What I'm trying to like have a process set for is how the mentor can nurture that relationship with the new person, like over the course of a few days, a few weeks, which turns into months, maybe even. Like I'm trying to figure out what that looks like in a way that's orchestrated by design, so there's no guesswork for the mentor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what, like, is there anything that would be out of bounds? Like if the mentor asks for the person's phone number and follow up with them, like that seems okay. That happens anyways. Like I'm just trying to think of what would not be a good thing to do in that situation.
So Wayne, you just incorporated this, haven't you? Can you speak to that?
Not to the extent he has. I've just kept people in a private message group and asked them to when they see someone new in the camp session to make sure they introduce themselves to them and help them along and reassure them that this is a place that they can feel safe and accept. Because you mentioned in the thing that you wrote, Aaron, that if I go up and I'm being nice to the person and telling them that we can help them, then they expect it from me because I'm the owner. But if it's coming from a member or a member that's on their level telling them the same thing, that this is a good place and you can see results and we're a good community here, and they're more likely to take it as the truth rather than coming from me. But I've just tried to get them to introduce themselves and just get to know their name and just help them through the workout. So that's about as deep as I've gone with it right now.
And another thing that begs the question for me is like, I'm still debating if I want to like somewhat compensate the mentors or just let them ride it out because of a greater sense of fulfillment and giving back. But I feel like and Aaron like helped me out this too, I feel like if I make them do things as far as follow-up goes, like long-term follow-up, if I do that, I feel like then I should probably compensate them for something, because there's more work involved in that, you know, than just seeing them for the workout and all that stuff.
Yeah, I hear you on that. But what I would suggest to you, I don't know the right answer, but here's what I would suggest, is that oftentimes people appreciate recognition as much as they do reward. And so you could recognize them in some way, and it could be, with a gift. So it could be a form of reward as well, but it doesn't necessarily need to be monetary compensation or even free training, although I'd certainly consider those options. But what I'm saying is, I think you could do after the first week, say you start your mentor working with with one of your clients. After the first week, when you check in with that mentor and you're like, hey, how's it going? That same day you have something, delivered to her house or something like that. And maybe it's, whatever that she really likes or something along those lines. So just putting out food for thought, but it could just be some type of recognition. Oh, and the other thing, the recognition element, bringing them in, your mentors as your advisory group, like we talked about a few calls before, really giving them elevated status among your other members.
I know one of the things that I'm doing kind of related to that so others can see it is having their own shirts that's like unique to them that they can wear.
Great. That's a great idea. Plus they're easily identifiable by the members too, as somebody that, hey, I should go and talk to this person.
Yeah. On the front, it just says member mentor, and then it has like our logo on the bottom.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Real quick, I just wanted to your point about what I thought was beautifully said about orchestrating the design. I think those are two excellent words. You want to design this process. You want to orchestrate the way things work. I would also encourage you not to be too regimented about it initially. Sort of feel your way, have a plan and a design, and then sort of let it evolve as you move forward, because you're going to learn things as you get into this process. But you're very smart to be thinking about, I want to make it a process rather than a loosey-goosey thing. Yeah. One of the things that immediately comes to mind is for sure to have your mentor exchange phone numbers with your mentee, with her mentee or whatever, and then set up, and they could say, hey, I'm going to text you every day at 10 o'clock just to check in, or something along those lines. I mean, I don't know. Again, I'm just throwing that out there.
Yep. That makes sense. I think, yeah, something like that is just some sort of driving factor toward accountability and making sure that they're still showing up and they have someone to look forward to showing up.
No doubt. You need somebody. Wayne, are you waving goodbye, or did you want to say something? Oh, okay.
I have a question. What I was thinking that the mentor was more a part of the onboarding process. And it sounds like to me, and Erica, my assistant, just brought this up, it sounds like they're taking on the job of what an accountability coach would do. Do you have that with with 200 and some people? Do you have an accountability coach?
Adrian might be frozen. Adrian, did you hear Wayne's question?
I heard Wayne's question, but I think I can start answering, but then it froze. You guys can hear me now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, joy. So we have an accountability coach. Yeah. He does typically all the members' measurements. But yeah, I mean, in effect, yeah, my vision is that the member mentor is like a pseudo accountability coach. Like it can be, and ideally, right? So the main goal is to increase the client's engagement in the program off the bat. And then the second goal is to increase conversions to memberships. And the third primary goal is to increase retention for both the mentor and the new member. Mm-hmm. Those are the three primary aims. My thought process is that just having my mentors interact with the new person for one workout or two isn't enough. I feel like I need a more structured approach to making it last for like a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks in the beginning. And then they know each other by then, right? So then they're more familiar faces, even if they don't go to the same session time anymore. Something like that.
Yeah. And I think it's a wonderful plan. And I think that it's absolutely going to have a significant impact. And you're just going to have to, I think, outline a basic plan for it and then get started. I would start with less rather than more. And then if you find that you need to add things on, then you can add them on as you go. But and here's the thing, you know what else I do with your mentors as part of that elevated status advisory group? Ask for what they think. Because they were once clients, and say to them, what do you think would work best? Get them to give you ideas and take ownership.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm really excited about it.
I think it's a great idea.
Part of me was joking about it with somebody actually the other day. I was just saying, okay, because I was meeting with somebody who was her friend, and she was like, yeah, she's signing up, and she doesn't, I'll make her. And I was like, oh, here's the membership form, just go take it to her.
Yeah.
Come on, bring it back.
Yeah, that's strong.
That would be, in my mind, in a weird, twisted kind of way, that would be ideal. Here you go, just take that to your friend, just bring back, great.
If it was only that easy.
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Right.
Some people can make it that easy because they're so persuasive for their friends. Like, come on, get in here, let's go. Yeah.
No, that's right. And those people can become ambassadors for your business.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to take up more time, but that's all I had. And I know I have a meeting to get to pretty soon, so I got to go anyways. But those are all the questions that I had so far. So.
All right. Yeah. No, I got to bail too. It's 3:30. Tom, I saw that you just popped on about 5-10 minutes ago. We're just cutting it out, brother. We started at 2:00. So if there's something that you need help with specifically, just reach out to me on Facebook or on the group or private message. I'll be happy to help you. But right now, we've got to wrap this thing up. Tom Schlitz, so I'm talking to you if you can't hear me or see me. Okay. Everybody, any closing thoughts? Or are we all good?
We're good.
We're good. All right. Thank you all very much. Great call today, as always. Really appreciate it. And just have a great weekend, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks a lot.
All right.